Prime rib. Yeah, here doing a prime rib. Guys, we're gonna dive into some prime rib. We're gonna talk about tips and tricks, how to cook it, what to serve with it. We're gonna have some fun today. First of all, why do we call it a prime rib? Does it have to do with grading? It actually has to do with where it comes from. It comes from the primal rib of a cow, and that's where the prime rib name comes from. What am I looking for? So I'm really looking for this inner muscle fat right here, and that's what our grading's coming from. So if a prime, it's gonna have more inner muscle fat. This is actually a choice, and for Jack at his house, that's about what I can afford, so we do choice at our house. Now in the select, that select's starting to get a little bit down. You know, you just have to have that expectation that the select's not gonna be where you want. And the other question is, do we do bone in or bone out? Now for me personally, I prefer the bone out. I'm a big time, I like everything cooked with the bone in, except for my prime ribs. And the reason being is I really want to develop a crust. The crust is the star of the show of a prime rib. So first thing is trimming. What do we need to do to trim it? So we've got this tail right here in this white. I'm gonna follow that line right there, and that's gonna be my guide, and we're gonna take that big hard fat off. So just kind of trim right along the side there, hug to that. All right, beautiful. All right, so we got this trimmed off. So again, two reasons why I want to trim it off. My family's not gonna eat this. I don't want it to go to waste, so we're gonna use that for something else. And now I got a good, even piece of meat that I can cook right there, right? And we're gonna tie that up. Look how flat that is. It's not gonna be even, it's gonna be harder to cook it evenly. Prime rib's all about even cooking, having it medium rare from coast to coast. So we're gonna tie it, and then we're gonna get that. About arm's length on your string, snip it. We'll do 5 of these. We're gonna tie the knots on the bone side. It's just easier to get your string underneath if you don't have to deal with the ridges of where the bone was. I go pretty close to the end, back around. Just keep working your way down. All right, everybody, we got this all tied up. It looks fabulous, nice and even. Now we gotta season it. And how do we wanna season it? Now I find I really like a dry brine method on my prime rib. At this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and salt it like I normally salt it. You know, I always get asked why kosher salt, and the reason why I use kosher salt is because I can control it a lot easier. It's thicker, it's a bigger cut. Kosher is just a size. I also like to salt from higher up. That way I'm not clumping it down low. Once I get it salted really nice, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it in this salt that's down here on my table. Okay, now if I have time, and I've just spent a bunch of money on this rib roast or prime rib, I'm gonna actually spend a little bit more time prepping it. So I've got it salted, and I'm gonna throw it in my fridge overnight. I'm gonna put a sheet pan, cookie sheet over the top of that, and leave it uncovered in the fridge. That way they'll salt. So salt is gonna start to bring out the moisture, right? And you would think that it's gonna dry it out, but it does the opposite. Okay, off the fridge we go. All right, we got our prime rib dry brine last night. We're ready to go. Let's throw this on the grill. I'm gonna go ahead and do my ash clean out first, make sure I'm ready to go, and then we're gonna start it up. Like I said before, we're gonna do a reverse sear method on it. So reverse sear is we're gonna start out smoking it. We're gonna bring up that meat slow and low. All right, we're gonna set the temperature first. I personally like 235. Then I'm gonna set my smoke setting next. And my smoke setting is number 7. All right, we're ready to go. Let's get this thing seasoned. Your pepper's not gonna stick because it's pretty hard. So we're gonna add just a little bit of peanut oil. I just like peanut oil, it's what I use. But you know, whatever kind of oil you want, kind of binder. And then we're gonna pepper that. And again, remember, this is a big piece of meat, so go ahead and liberally pepper it. You can use cracked pepper. This is just a coarse ground pepper. Make sure you get those ends really seasoned well. All right, let's go ahead and roll. Let's go ahead and roll that up, soak the rest of that pepper in. It's ready to go in. All right, we're up to temperature, smoke's rolling. I'm gonna throw this, and I'm gonna throw it on the top shelf. I like the top shelf because of that convection. We got the fan running, and I can get a really even heat all the way around. Let's throw our probes in. And again, this is gonna come up slow and low. It's gonna probably take about 2 hours on this 7-pound roast. And then from there, we're gonna reverse sear it. I'm gonna be looking for about 110 degrees on the internal temperature. All right, we're getting good on our temperature. We're gonna go ahead and throw that over. Give it a nice sear. And then if I decide I don't want the flame, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that up on top, let it finish off for just a minute. close my sliding grill, and then we'll finish it. All right, let's check to see where we're at. We're at 124, exactly where I want to be. So let's go ahead and do the resting part of this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, we're going to want to let this rest for a few minutes. So we'll start out with aluminum foil. Now it's going to raise about another 10 degrees in the rest. So that's going to take us right up to that medium rare. We're going to go ahead and wrap this 3 times just so we can get all that good insulation in there. We're going to want to let this rest for at least 30 minutes. So we've got it wrapped. This is my trusty old tablecloth that I wrap it in as well. We're just going to wrap this all loosely, have lots of air gaps in there. I'm going to go ahead and put that in our cooler. So anything in your side dishes, you know, think where you can utilize it. You can cook at the same time as your prime rib. You can throw some potatoes in there or whatnot. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and unwrap it. Make sure you save all that juice that's inside of there. Go ahead and snap your strings off. Oh, look at that beautiful piece of meat. Got red coast to coast, got a little bit of smoke ring. We've got a great crust on there. Okay, last tip I have when you go to serve it. Now if you take that slice, add a little bit of salt to it. All right guys, we got this plated up. We got our slab of prime rib on here, a little salt over top of that, some au jus on that. Got a horseradish and mushrooms on the side. And you know guys, try this prime rib recipe out. It's a great recipe. It's the one I always use. Yeah, let's dig into this and see what it tastes like. Get a mushroom on there. That's awesome. Hey, thanks for watching our prime rib video. Go ahead and give us a comment below, and we'll catch you later.